Are you a homeowner in Doral feeling uncertain about what to do with your property in today's market? Well, you are not alone. With rising interest rates, inflation, tariffs, and so much economic noise, it's no wonder why many people are asking themselves, should I even sell now? Should I wait? And what is my home even worth? Well, today we're talking through all of it, real talk, real insights, and not fluff. Welcome to Building Connections Doral Talks. I'm your host, Gonzalez. And guys, today I just took a walk and I just was feeling this heaviness in the air with all of this stuff that's going on. And I just started to think, like, why people feeling this uncertain? And there's a reason why. So first, let's talk about what's happening right here locally in our area. We're going to talk about a little bit about tariffs and how this affect the buyer's buying power. I'm also want to talk about my VA, my veterans, and how they have benefits and a little bit of the setbacks, including what's happening right now. And the big question that a lot of people are having, why is my home even worth in today's market? Well, let us begin. So I want to start sharing with you. I want to just be real quick and just go straight to the point. What's happening right now in the last week? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I want to share exactly what sold, how many houses sold right here in Doral. I'm not going to talk about anything outside, like a specifics, just how many units sold this week, how many came on the market, and so on. So let me just share my screen right now. So this one right here, I'm going to show you, this is a straight from the MLS. So this is the market watch, right? This is the most days that I can have right here is 7 days. So we had 18 new properties coming on the market. This is good because we actually have 16 properties closed. So what does that mean to you as a consumer, as a seller? What it means is that if you are putting your houses on the market and they are correctly priced, then you will be able to see movement. We had some 10 properties that had price decreases. One of them 7.51% decrease. The other one 8. The highest one is 8.62% decrease. However, they have been on the market for a little longer. The longer you stay on the market, like I said in the past, the more that you're going to start to decrease. For example, the original list price of this property was $949,000, and it has been on the market for 121 days, and it has already gone down significantly to $894,000, and it still hasn't sold. So let's see this one. The original price, this one right here was $1,260,000, and it is currently at $1,160,000, and it's been on the market for 27 days, and it still haven't sold, even though they've been aggressively. But I wouldn't be surprised if after this change, it will go ahead and sell. So the whole point that I want to show you is that prices that are correctly priced, properties that are correctly priced, they will sell. And look at this ones. Let me do days on markets. These are properties that closed already. So I'm not going to remove it, apply. I just want to show you that if the properties are priced correctly, look at this one. 5 days on the market and it closed 6 days and 6 days. And how much did they close for? For the asking price or above asking price. The one that closed a little bit low, asking price was the one that stayed on the market for 6 days. However, it wasn't too far off, only 15,000 off. But the first one is they were asking even in the 2 millions, 2,350,000, and it sold for 2,250,000. So what is telling us it was correctly priced. The second one, it took 6 days, 700,000, and it sold for above asking at 705,000, which is with a property that has a good presentation and it is priced correctly. That's how fast they close. Now, in contrast, when you have a property that stays on the market for 153 days, then you will see that it's not going to sell for close or even as much. So this one was original price was $1,190,000, and it closed for $970,000. And that was almost 6 months of being on the market. So that's what I want you to see. And let me show you one more. And the good thing is we have 4 pending. So 4 and 16, that's how many we had. And then we have 18 that came on the market. And then 3 came back on the market. Usually when this happens is because they had to do a price adjustment. Let me see this one. Let me go back. Let me see the second one. So look at this. Original is $1,000,000. 1.8 million. It has been on the market for 208 days. And then it went to 1,740,000 and finally is 1,650,000. That's my point. The longer, the higher that you put it on the market, the longer it will take, and it will close for probably way less than it would have had it been on the market properly from the beginning. So let's go back and then see only one property expired. I'm not going to do the analysis on this one right now, but it stayed on the market for 179 days. And even though they did a minor adjustment, it still didn't sell. So properties are selling. This week alone, 16 closed and there's 4 pending. Only 1 expired, meaning it did not sell. And then 18 came on the market. So that's pretty healthy locally. Now, let's talk about the interest rates, because that's what everybody is talking about right now. And believe it or not, right here, Thursday's rates moved down slightly, like very, very slightly, not much change. So today's 30 days, according to Mortgage News Daily, is at 6.86% on a 30-year fixed conventional, while the FHA is at 6.35%, more take, and then the VA 30 years is also 6.37%. So that's that's exactly what the snapshot of what's happening right here in Doral right now. However, you need to think property that closed this week, that means that they have came on the market a few months ago, and by the time it closes, it's going to reflect. So you have to have preparation. Then you come on the market, it's marketed. Then somebody put in an offer and it takes time to actually close, right? So if they close this week, that means that we are in April. This is April 17. So you're going to do backwards planning like we do in the military. And then you're going to start thinking 30 to 45 days prior to when the actual offer came in and it closed now. Now moving forward, what we need to pay close attention is the purchasing power that some people might have or might not have, depending on how the tariffs go one way or the other. Because people start to feel, when people have uncertainty, they don't make choices. They don't make decisions like buying a house. So whether the tariffs get better, whether they stay the same, unless people don't have a feeling that it is going to be an extended amount of time that they're going to feel secure that this is going to be what it's going to be, then the market is going to continue to be volatile. And this is what I was, when I was taking a walk this morning, I was thinking, because there's a lot of people that have so much uncertainty, and whatever happens international that affects nationally, it affects locally. It just starts to trickle down effect. It's like the domino down effect to where it's going to affect sellers. So if you're a seller now, more than ever, you have to make sure that you are pricing your property based on what's happening in the market. Is the market trending up? For example, like in 2021, 2022, if you put a house, let's say for $100, you know the market was trending up. So most likely your house, if it was priced correctly, it could potentially still sell for way more significantly than the price that you put on the market, because it was going up. Now, the little bit of challenge that was happening during those times was appraising, because you didn't have enough houses that were priced at that time high enough to bring the value of what the market was saying it wanted to pay. So that was some of the challenging during that time. Now, the challenge that we have now is not the market, it's people's mentality and expectations. So if you're a seller, know that as like the market was trending up, now the market is trending down or even neutral or down, but it's definitely going up. It's either staying where it's at or it's going down. Right here in Doral, it feels like we're still kind of neutral. However, we still need to check it and need to see how it's going to start moving in the next few months to really get a grasp of what's happening right now and how it's going to affect us locally. So that's why you have to make sure that you know what's trending down. And like, for example, if you have an offer and it's lower, you're not going to have a problem potentially like the people are having a problem in 2021 with the house appraising. Most likely it will appraise because there's enough inventory suggesting that the house is closed a little higher or at the asking price. But what happened is the people buying, people that are in the market right now might not have the purchasing power to pay the prices that you are requesting, even if there's evidence that people pay this in the past. That's what I want you to know. So even if you do an appraiser, or you get an evaluation from an agent kind of like me, you have to tell yourself what is happening in the market right now. Is it trending down? Is it trending up? Or is it flat? Because depending on that, you want to, whatever valuation we came up, depending on what close, then you can determine if you want to adjust your price down so that you don't chase the market down and you come right at where, and you can meet people where they're at, so that you don't sit on the market longer than needed and then continue to chase the market down where you're going to have less money for the house. Hopefully I'm making sense on what I'm saying. Now, how is this is how the tariffs and uncertainty are affecting the buyer's power right now, and also is weakening the dollar. It's impacting us all around because of what's happening, this little tug of war that is happening between America and China. Then what's happening is that some countries, I don't know all of the specifics, I just know of two right now, Japan and China, they're selling our bonds. What does that mean to you and me? Well, when they sell our bonds, which is what makes our dollar strong, that means that people are starting to lose faith on how strong our dollar or how secure our economy is, the economy of America, and how strong our dollar is. So the less bonds that we have out there and people to start selling it because they don't sell the value, the more uncertainty for people to invest in anything American, in our dollars. Therefore, also inflation is going to occur at the same time, making buyers having less buying power. Okay, so what kind of buyers are also getting affected? Other than that, anyone else, also veterans are getting affected. Even though I was saying this morning, is that everybody's getting affected, but the military has advantages and disadvantages. So if you're a veteran right now, listen up, if you're a veteran, I'm speaking to you directly right now. The disadvantage is that you don't have that much savings. You don't have a lot of money on the bank account. You could, or maybe you don't. If you don't, and this is you, don't feel despair. Okay? Because of the uncertainty and the new constructions going on, they have a lot of incentives for you. So this is a time for you to take advantage because you have a paycheck. That's your advantage. A steady paycheck, either because you're still active or potentially because you have some sort of income because you retired, or potentially you have a retirement and some sort of disability that will help ease the burden of all of this stuff that's going on right now because you have a steady paycheck and potentially you have another job. But maybe you don't have the savings because you have moved so many times that you don't have saved up because every time you move, you spend so much money. Well, a lot of new builders right now are giving great incentives for you as a veteran because they understand that people are not having money saved up for closing costs. So there are a lot of new builders are offering closing costs, and already you know that you don't have to do a down payment because you're using your VA entitlement. At the same time, some builders, not all, also are covering or paying to put your interest rate down so that your payments are not so high in the monthly payments. So that's an advantage that you could take advantage of right now. The disadvantage in this area that you have is that we don't have a lot of new constructions right here in, let's say, Doral or in the general Miami-Dade area, other than if you go down to Homestead, which they do have a lot of opportunities there for you. What I do with my veterans, if they don't like the options that the new constructions have, or if they're not ready to move in, then if you are looking for a resale, because there's so much uncertainty and houses are sitting a little bit longer, some sellers are also willing to cover closing costs. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and I will answer whatever questions you have. Okay, so those are some of the things. So the veterans could be hit hard because sometimes they don't have the money power, like the cash to close, but they do have the money to pay monthly payments. So it's a little crazy, but it works, okay? Now, the big questions that a lot of sellers have right now, what is my home even worth? Well, if you're a homeowner right now and you're having these questions like pondering on your head, because maybe you do need to move. Maybe you're no longer able to pay the mortgage either because your insurance went up or whatever it is, or you're moving from work, or somebody had passed away, or maybe you got a divorce, whatever it is, or maybe some of your family members are facing deportation, whatever is happening in your life and you are unsure and you feel frozen because you don't even know what the value of the property is. Well, let me tell you, a lot of people have been reaching out, and trust me, it's not inconvenience for me. It's not a problem. I do an evaluation based on the information available, and then I give you, or have given them, my honest opinion based on what I see happening on where the property should actually be placed at. Even if the evaluation was $600,000, maybe I will say based on what I see on the market and in the area and the movement in your neighborhood, maybe we need to place it in such a way that your property is the obvious choice. Now, not everybody that reached out to me put their houses for sale. They just wanted to know exactly how much it was worth so that they knew what kind of choices they have if they do make a decision. So don't let not knowing make you feel paralyzed or frozen. I will gladly do a home valuation for you. No obligation. You're not committed to me. This is just for your peace of mind and for me to give value to my community. Anyway, you feel free to DM me or get all of my information in the description below. And if you're listening to on Instagram, wherever you're listening to, you'll find my information. It's not that hard to find my information. It's all over. You Google me, you find me. Doral Homes, Betty Gonzalez, that's how you find me. So anyway, guys, I really just want to thank you for tuning in, for coming live with me, or for listening to me on YouTube or wherever your favorite platform is. And if you're a homeowner in Doral or just someone who's curious about selling in today's market and you want to hear, I want to hear from you. I really want to hear what you're thinking. Message me with your questions or let me know what you like me to cover in upcoming episodes, or now that I'm trying to do an webinar to educate homeowners and home buyers on what to do and how to act on the market. Just know that people are on the market. Some people do have to move, and some people are buying because they either had life situations that brought them here, and people do have to sell for whatever reason happening in their life, and every case is different. So that's why it's important that you consult with anybody, not me, just anybody that you feel comfortable with. But if you do want to reach out to me, that's fine as well. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into Building Connections Doral Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Talk to you next week. See you guys. Bye. Real quick, calling all Doral professionals, entrepreneurs, and community influencers. Are you ready to showcase your business, share your knowledge and experience with our engaged audience? Building Connections Doral Talks invites you to become a guest speaker on our podcast. Share your unique perspectives and inspiring stories with our listeners. We believe in the power of your voice in shaping that conversations right here in Doral. Click the link below to submit your information and be part of our next episode. Join us in building connections, sharing knowledge, and growing together. Don't miss this opportunity to be a featured guest on Building Connections Doral Talks. Tune in, connect, share, and grow together with Building Connections Doral Talks, reshaping the way we engage with the diverse voices of Doral, one guest at a time. Doral Talks, your voice, our community. Click the link now on the show notes, the screen, or in the comments below, or just scan the QR code to submit your information as a guest. I hope to see you soon. See you in the next podcast. Bye.